Welcome everybody to another episode of the Northern Nerdcast. I am Brad, and joining me as always is Svenny McGee. And joining us is a very special guest. Please welcome Christophe Galati. He created the massively popular Save Me Mr. Tako. So welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm fine. And you?
Uh, it's it's still a little early here. We're only we're just about 10 o'clock in the morning. I've had four coffees, so I'm awake now.
Good. It's the middle of the afternoon here in France. So
Uh, I appreciate, and there's about a 6 hour time difference, so I appreciate you making time to come on and talk a bit about your game, and then you can go and do your birthday again. Happy birthday! So you're going to be 25.
27.
Oh, 27. Okay, so so um when so obviously I read some of your Ask Me Anything on Reddit, and this game is clearly like a love letter to games of old, like Game Boy. And what made you want to design like a Game Boy game in today's gaming society?
Hmm. Well, when I started the game, it was like 2014, and it was the year of Game Boy 25th anniversary. So at that time, like I was in game school, and I was like not liking the project I was doing there, and because I started making game when I was 12 with RPG Maker.
Mm.
So I did a lot of passion project on the side growing up, and I was kind of missing this feeling of making things I like with a subject and a theme and a message to give to player. So I saw it was Game Boy 25th anniversary, and I was like, oh, it's the time to make a tribute to this era, because I grew a lot with the Game Boy. Because even though I'm turning 27, and like when I was young, it was more like PlayStation 2 and GameCube era.
Mhm.
My one of my brother is a game collector, so it was kind of forcing us to play the retro games before playing the new one. So I grew up with the Game Boy anyway, and and I love this era and the fact that in my opinion, the pixel art and the restriction of the Game Boy makes the mind work a lot more and stimulates imagination. So I wanted to take those constraints and try to make something with it myself. So
That's it's I like I myself I have not been able to put it down. Like I'll if I have to go do something, I'll come back, I'll fire it up. It's just it resonates for me because I like Adam, I grew up with Nintendo. Like he's got all the Nintendo in his picture there. But I grew up playing Nintendo, Game Boy. I still remember going to like I don't know if you guys have like Toys R Us or anything like toy stores, but going there and I got Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, and I've always liked the Game Boy. It's just it was a cool thing to be able to carry around, and you've successfully taken a Game Boy style era game and put it on another mobile device with the Switch, and it's an absolute blast. So just thank you for releasing something like that, because my oldest is into video games, and she watches me play all the time, and she's started picking it up, and she likes it more than I do. So like I try and take it from her, and she says no, no, no.
cool.
So
Thanks.
No, I found the same too. My boys have instantly recognized that it's a Game Boy style game and the graphics, but I mean, they're starting to get to that appreciation for it, and the pixel art you have in there is beautiful. Everyone comes across really clean, and especially going into the platforming style, we could instantly recognize some of the little tips of the hat there to the Kirby's, breaking the vases. I actually recently found the Mr. I Am Air. So, and even some of the more modern things there when talking with someone and there's, hey, have you seen the Shovel Knight? And so it's beautiful. It's a lot of beautiful Easter eggs. Um, I don't necessarily want to go and spoil anything for anybody to play the game, but I know I myself, I'm over 10 hours in now. I can tell I'm still have less than half of the hats, and basically, Mr. Tako found his helmet again, and I've progressed a little bit past that. So it's you can tell, like you said, there's lots and lots of love in the game. And what other things do you feel helped inspire you creating the game?
Hmm. Well, I'm a big JRPG player, so, so I think it kind of show in the game. Because I wanted to, when I make a game, I want to tell a story. That's one of the main goal, like to tell something and make a huge universe and with a big cast of characters. And like I studied mythology a lot, so there is a lot of that too. Like I try to make player think like about how the world is working. The world itself is working, why it's like that, and the world have a history. So even if it look cute and like silly at the beginning with the whole octopus versus human thing, it's more deep than that. And yeah, I wanted to make a RPG, so I tried to fit it in a Game Boy platformer game. So it was kind of hard sometimes, but yeah, that was the goal. So yeah, mythology, JRPG, and many things from my own life experience, like about the tolerance message and the kind of character you meet. I also try to put a lot of historical references, like how the society work and stuff like that. And even like some characters are inspired by some historical figures. Like one of the Prince Evan is inspired by Frederick II from Prussia, stuff like that. So there's a lot, but yeah.
So, why an octopus? That to me, it's such a far out character. It's not something that you see every day in games, like you said, like especially in JRPGs, like you have talking cats. You've got characters like Cloud from Final Fantasy that have a sword that's 8 times bigger than his body. But what about the octopus that made you say like I'm gonna make him the star character?
Well, it's not something that I premeditated. Like I never like had a passion for octopus before. Like it wasn't my favorite animal or stuff like that. But one day I ate takoyaki. I don't know if you know
Oh yes,
Japanese
absolutely.
meal.
I've never been to Japan, but I love it. I want to go once COVID is done. That's one of my bucket list is to go to Japan.
But yes, like because I was studying game development in Paris, and there is a big street with many Japanese restaurants called Rue Sainte-Anne. And I went there and discovered takoyaki. And like when I ate them, I got the vision. Like I saw an octopus character with a sword, and I wanted to reverse the cliche around the octopuses, who are often like the mean character or the pervert one. So I kind of wanted to reverse that and make like a nice octopus who want to save other people. So that was kind of the beginning about that. But also, I think it was for me. Game Boy games have like a weirdness to them. Like it was considered less serious than the NES. So I thought like the creator were experimenting a lot more. Like if you see the Link's Awakening, there were weird stuff in it. Like you could see Goombas from Mario and Kirby and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I wanted to reproduce this weirdness, and I thought like the contrast between octopuses and human kind of replicates that somehow. So that's
awesome.
why octopuses are there.
Yeah.
I know like for what stood out visually for me in the very first couple levels is when you're on those ships, they really reminded me of the airships from Mario Brothers 3. So like again, like you can just see how much love that you've put into this project and put all these I guess Easter eggs. Like did you get the airship inspiration from the Mario series? Like some of those ships looked exactly like those Mario ships. So I was like, this is like an octopus basically in a Mario level. I can't stop saying enough good things about your game. Like it's just not very often do I keep going back because I play other games, I review games, but like there's just something about your game that makes me stop doing everything else to go back to continuing the story. So like it's just it's an absolute blast. So I don't really have a question. I just wanted to compliment you on how like just the funness of this game. I know Adam's gotten farther into the series, like the game, than I have, but one of the things that I did read was a lot of people, and you had done a very good job debunking these, is it is a hard game. The difficulty level, it looks cute, but I had at points I felt like I was pushing the button extra hard to jump farther, and it never happened. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but that's the thing I think I succeeded with, like, because everybody sees different Easter egg and everything reminds them of a different game. So like I have a lot of people telling me about Mega Man or Wario Land, which are game I haven't played a lot, so they were not in my main references. But as I mixed a lot of stuff from Castlevania, Metroid, Kirby, everything, everybody can see it can remind something different to every player. So I think that with that I managed to make it look like a true Game Boy game on its own and not just a copy. I think, but it was a challenge.
No, absolutely. I found I had a real go with the you're in the volcano, and as soon as you get through there, suddenly the lava starts rising and you got to platform through. That, as well as one of the parts in the dungeon there, the guards are very patterned, looking this way, looking that way, and if you get seen, it becomes like a stealth part where you need to quickly get back. And once you figure out the pattern, you're able to go through. And to me, that again made it feel much like Mega Man, as you mentioned, because there are certain parts where it's like the platforming blocks and things like that start to disappear. So that was one of the experiences that I felt that was reminiscent of that as well. Again, was there in the Game Boy style, did you find there was any specific limitations?
Well, actually there are, like, you can't like rotate stuff or scale, zoom, stuff like that. All those mechanics are not there, and the resolution is restricted, so it was hard to equilibrate to set the camera with the speed of the jump and stuff. So there are the challenges on there, but for me it was also using those constraints was a big learning exercise. Like I did pixel art before, but it's like my biggest pixel art project I ever done. So having those limitations of the color palette taught me a lot, like about shading and stuff. So yeah, it was like challenging, but also learning. So I guess it was a good experience for me. I learned a lot.
So you went from see, I don't even know how to pronounce your name. Is it Nicholas? Like in 2014, how did limited run games come about? Because like that's huge to have them pick up your title, and now there's a physical copy coming out. Do you like they have? I'm assuming the coding. Like, do you have any say in what goes into like these collector's editions? Like, do they consult you, or but like just in general, how did you get limited run games? Because that's huge. Like that, congratulations.
Thank you. But yes, for the original release, I was published by Nicalis. But yeah, things didn't work out as intended, and there was a patching issue. Like I made patches that were not released for 2 years, so it was kind of frustrating to see people complain about the game difficulty and things I've patched but that were not released. So at one point, we decided to break apart. But limited run, we met at several game events, like in Japan, like Beat Summit in the past. And when they saw the patching issue and the fact that Tako was kind of stuck, they contacted me and lent me their lawyers, because so they gave me legal advice to get the game back and republish it with them. So like that, yes, they liked the game and wanted it to do stuff too, to have another future, and for me being able to patch it and make physical copies and stuff. So it happened. But yeah, I think doing game events with the game allowed me to meet a lot of people in this industry, and it really helped like to get this kind of deal now. But it's great. Like I'm happy I was able to patch the game in this definitive edition, and a physical copy is coming, as you said.
Yeah.
So right now we are still working on it, but yeah, I have a word to say like about the cover art, and I gave them idea of about things I want in it. But I can't announce anything. Like it's not ready yet. We're
No,
still
that's
working
not a
on it.
problem. I
But
totally get the non-disclosure. I can tell you when the physical copy is announced. I'm gonna try. I know they're very limited to get, but I'm gonna try to get one because I like it. I like the Switch boxes and how it just looks really nice. It'll look nice with all my other limited run stuff that I have, but I'm gonna try and be one of the first in line to get a copy because like the digital is great. I'm as you can see behind me, I've got a wall that goes all the way down of games. I'm a physical collector, so I'll pay for it again. That's what I do.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm excited too. Like it will be my first physical game I made too. So yeah, I can't wait for it to happen finally.
Are you working on any other projects, or is your focus solely on Mr. Tako right now, or is that another thing that you can't talk about right now? So it's all good if you can't.
No, I can talk a bit about it, but like as I mentioned, Tako was kind of stuck for 2 years. So during that time, I started a new project. So basically, back in 2019, I was selected in an artist residency in Kyoto. So yeah, because I don't know if you know the concept of artist residencies, like the Villa Médicis in Rome and stuff like that.
Not
But
familiar
it's a
with it.
very French thing, I think, where France send artists to other country to make cultural relationship and allow these artists to showcase the French art
Mhm.
everywhere. So I saw a documentary about that and thought like, oh, it would be cool like for a game developer to be accepted in those kind of residencies, and because you are paid to work on your project and in a cool place. So basically, you don't have to worry about anything for a certain amount of time. So yeah, I saw this residency in Kyoto, and I applied, and I got selected. So I kind of became the first game developer to be selected in this kind of residency. So
Awesome.
yeah, I'm happy for that, because now maybe more game developer could enter these artistic places. But yeah, I got the opportunity to go to Kyoto for 5 months and start working on a new project there. So I started my new game, which is currently called the Imitsu project. Imitsu means secret, so because
Mhm.
I don't have the final name yet, and the central theme of the game is also secrets, and how they turn into monsters that people in power use to control people. So that's kind of the main theme. But yeah, this time, like Tako was a tribute to the Game Boy, and now I'm doing a tribute to the Game Boy Advance.
Oh,
So I
nice.
wanted to make a tribute to each era I grew up with. So yeah, it's the second step of this bigger picture, I guess.
So pretty soon you're gonna have your own little independent game production studio. That's awesome.
Hopefully.
That's how I see it. Like that would be amazing. And it sounds like you've got your next 20 years planned out if you're gonna do an homage to all of the systems that you grew up with. So I mean, it can only get better and better for you. So that's like you start at Game Boy, like you said, and then you work your way up. That's really awesome.
Mm. Yeah, but yeah, it's still the beginning of the new project. Like I started building a team around it to work with other artists, because for Tako I did most of the thing myself, except for the music.
Mhm.
So this time I tried to make a team and and work in more yeah, in better conditions. But for that you need money. So I'm kind of the right now we are in the prototyping and searching for funding phase, which
Mhm.
can last long. So maybe Tako will bring a bit of money also for the new game too. So that's one of the goal. But yeah,
Yeah.
for the past 6 months, like I put the new project on pause to work on Tako again. So now that Tako is back, and we are still like working on the Japanese release and the physical release. But once those are done, I can be fully focused on the new project and move forward with it.
That's awesome.
We hope Mr. Taco makes his special appearance in the Himitsu project.
Who knows?
or a 3D image or a 3D rendition in Smash Bros. That would be cool.
Mm.
Yeah, is there any game that you'd want to see Mr. Taco in, even as like a spirit in Smash or in Kart or anything like that? Is there anything specific you'd like to see Mr. Taco appear in?
Oh, that would be great, but I think the game is not famous enough for Smash yet. But Tako appeared in a few indie games already, like Narcosis, a survival horror game. There are Tako on some wall somewhere. And but yeah, for indie games now, like it would be good to have him like in Samurai Gun 2 or stuff like that. Because they also do a tribute to other indie game. So who knows? I'm open to partnership and stuff like that. So we'll see if some people want my Tako to be there in their game, but it might happen. Who knows?
Oh, absolutely.
Go ahead, Adam. This is all you now.
Well, you mentioned before with that Evan was his direct inspiration from the Prussian Prince. Do you have any other characters, Muriel, anyone else, any direct inspirations or from people in your life?
Yeah, I guess. um, like I try to take reference, like the Octopus Princess is inspired mostly by Nausicaa from the Ghibli comics and then movie. Like that's why most people will miss it, but if you return to the Octopus Village, like during the at some moments, you can talk to her and like she show you she have an hidden base where she study and stuff like that, like kind of like Nausicaa does. But she's her name Azuria is the name of a town in Pokemon in French, the town where there is like the Misty gym, where Misty have a gym, a water type gym. So that's why she's called Azuria. I don't know. I don't remember the name in English, but yeah. But she's called Azuria because of that. And other character are there is a lot of references, but yes, it's hard now. But Mireille is a name is also from an anime called Noir. I don't know if you know that one.
I've heard about it, but I've never seen it.
But yes, one of the main characters is French and he's called Mireille. So I liked how the name is pronounced in Japanese. So I named her that way. And yeah, a lot of hidden references like that, but you can't get them like that when you see it. But in my mind, it makes sense. but yeah, there is also like Lady Butter in the game, which is inspired by the painting, the Milk Lady. Stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot.
Which character do you think resonates with you the most?
I don't know. I kind of put a bit of myself in many characters, but like for me, the how the Evan the prince grew up, like from being very shy and growing into someone more confident. And also the Enkid character with his quest of recognition, making him kind of bad, but by mistake. So there is this character too, which was also very inspired by Kefka from Final Fantasy. But yeah, and the rivalry between Tako and his brother is something I had in my life too, because I have a lot of brothers. and yeah. And also kind of the relationship between Tako and Azuria is kind of like the one between Link and Zelda in Zelda Ocarina, like they are childhood friends a bit, stuff like that.
That's awesome.
I know it's really touching scenes when they see just even the scenes on the paintings, the paintings idea to be able to see these flashbacks, and when you see Taco and his brother speaking in bed and like, hey, you still up? And just their interactions are very endearing. Evan's arc is really cool, and like you said, just learning to build that confidence and having that. I mean, surely everybody growing up, just the growing pains of your parents and wanting to try to feel yourself out and stuff. So his arc was really, really neat. So yeah, no, I thought it was great. It's a lot of really, like you said, a lot of real themes, and you can tell that you really, really fleshed out a full story here. It's not to make that Kirby thing, like the comparison kind of you're not just platforming through. Like there's
Mm.
what really got me in the last I was playing last night, and like I said, suddenly like the story really started progressing. Like I said, where I was getting his helmet back, and then everything that kind of transpired after that, it really fast paced, and it really was drawing me in because um, just the way it was progressing, and all the feelings, all the character arcs really coming through. With an RPG, is that something really more that you'd like to see is like a more fleshed out? Would you do like a Final Fantasy like turn base, or what's another type of genre that you think you'd like to see with or touch with a like a JRPG?
Mm. But that's kind of what I'm making currently with Imitsu Project, which is an action RPG.
Okay.
So basically it's a mix between Illusion of Gaia and Golden Sun. The
I was
game
gonna say, when I hear Game Boy Advance, I automatically think of Golden Sun. So that's where my mind went. So wow, I can't wait for that.
That's
How
what
far out is that project now that Mr. Tako is not in the rear view, but like now that you can focus on it, how far out do you think it is before we'll see that?
Well, I started tweeting about it, about the prototype, as I did during Taco's development. Like I was sharing GIFs and stuff
Mhm.
along the way. So I started doing that for the project. But yeah, it's still very early, and that it's a more RPG. There will be a lot of content. So I guess, yeah, maybe minimum 2 years, and I guess a lot more before it's ready to release. But we'll see. Maybe I can do a demo at some point, or
Well,
I
take
don't
your.
know.
I mean, obviously, don't listen to me, but don't rush games because there's so many games that are hyped that when they come out they don't meet expectations. And like Mr. Taco for me came out of left field, and like as soon as I saw like just your like the main picture, I was hooked. Like I hadn't even played the game, and I was like, this is gonna be fun. And so far, I've not been disappointed at all. So, like, I'll wait 5 years. If you're saying it's in the Golden Sun style, I will wait for as long as it takes because that's one of my favorite series.
Good. But yeah, but right now I'm kind of working on marketing to make Tako more known and help getting it some reviews, because I'm basically starting from ground zero, because as the game changed publisher and changed name, I lost all the reviews of the first version. So that's right now I'm kind of focused on that, but I can't wait to be fully focused on the new game once Tako is working on it, like doing it, working alone and being growing up.
No, that's great. Adam, did you have any other questions? I know I'm not trying to cut this short. I know you have your stuff that you have to do, especially with it being 6 hours ahead. So I appreciate you taking the time out to talk about what you're doing. So Adam, if there's anything, I'm here for the ride now because like like I said, you're farther in the game than I am. So
No, I again, we do appreciate your time, and we do know that it's your special day, joyeux anniversaire. So we do want to again thank you for coming on and speaking about this game. Brad and I have both done reviews of it, and we've been trying to get the word out as well. We again we're big fans, and we really sincerely appreciate the work that you've done on the game, and again for coming and speaking with us today.
Thank you.
okay, well we'll wrap it up for this episode of the Northern Nerdcast. Now, where for people who don't know, like that'll watch this, where can they find you? Like what's your social media look like for that kind of stuff?
Well, I'm mostly on Twitter and Instagram, so at Chris Denios. So yeah, I guess you'll put the link.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
But,
put that in the comments on Instagram. So no,
but yeah.
go
And
ahead.
you have
Sorry.
No, I
you have
was also, yeah, I also have a Facebook page, but Facebook is kind of dead now, so so it's not going as well as the other social media, but it's there too, the same handles. And
and
I
you have
also have a Patreon that I use
Patreon.
as a blog where I talk about the new game development. So if people want to follow the new game, I also try to post like every 2 or 3 months an update about how the new game is coming. So there's that too.
Perfect. Well, again, thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Christophe, for speaking about your game. I'd love to have you back on the show when you're further along with the new game. Again, looking forward to even a teaser trailer on what to expect. But enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Happy birthday again, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.